Do you know a narcissist who is a little bit too dependent on the marijuana? Likes their whiskey just a little neat and downs 3 beers before the guest of honor arrives to the party? Ooh. You, my dear, might be dealing with an alcoholic narcissist, the Tipsy Tyrant. And in this video, we're going to learn how to survive the drunken narcissist. If you have ever feared the narcissist, let the drunken narcissist scare the bejeebies out of you, because who they are in their drunken stupor reveals to you what the narcissist is always trying to hide. If you have ever encountered a narcissist under the influence, you will know very quickly. You're gonna know the chaos. You're gonna know the freaking mayhem that follows a dark, volatile storm that you would do well to just avoid. But sometimes you've got to go where the narcissist goes because they're family. It's a family get together and you got to make your appearance. Well, a drunk narcissist becomes a loose cannon, a wrecking ball, wreaking havoc on anyone in their path in social encounters, especially those they claim to love. Publicly, they unleash venomous attacks targeting you, their friends, with reckless abandon. Their behavior is so outrageous it leaves no room for recovery. The spectacle in itself is just too damaging to undo. But people who are watching this will excuse their behavior. But if you're the target of the drunken narcissist, all eyes are on you, and will you be forgiven? Not likely. Your secrets are revealed for everyone to know, and you can't walk that back. So what happens is, in the narcissistic drunken tirade, you're left defenseless, as they truly do expose you to all who will listen. And worse, the excuse of inebriation often shields them, with many people just brushing this off as a one-time thing. They got too drunk. They better learn how to control their liquor. Oh my gosh, they're just so young and naive. Maybe they'll learn from their mistakes. However, the scars remain on you long after this night or this festivity has ended. See, the emotional scars left by the narcissist, the drunken narcissist, their outbursts are undeniable. They not only shape how you perceive the narcissist, but also how you feel about yourself. And this often leaves you questioning your worth, and you're in the throes of this with the narcissist out in public. It's not like you can just walk away. Maybe you took the same car together. Maybe you got to wait for an Uber. You're in the limelight. The light is shining on you, and you're just left there to take it while the narcissist dishes it. Hello, my name is Shannon Gilmore, and welcome to Positively Spiritual. If you're new here, a big welcome to you. Hi, howdy ho, howdy do. And a big welcome to everyone. Hello, it's so nice to see you. Pull up a chair, get comfy, and join me for about an hour or so as I spill the tea on dealing with the drunken narcissist. And yes, you are welcome to join in on the conversation. Share your thoughts with the group. We'd love to hear your insights from the side of your experience. So welcome. Now, this is spiritual warfare, and the drunken narcissist is just like any other narcissist that we talk about, a dangerous narcissist. Have you ever witnessed a narcissist after a few drinks too many? At first, they might seem like the life of the party. it's fun, it's charming, they're charming, and you're having a laugh. They make you feel good. And you might even think to yourself, oh, wow, this is going well. Maybe we'll actually make it through this family gathering without any tantrums. This is awesome. But don't be fooled. Please don't be fooled. A tipsy narcissist is a tyrannical narcissist. And you will have to find a way to navigate this drunken narcissist. And it's not going to be fun. A tipsy narcissist is a tyrannical narcissist because they're unpredictable. They're an unpredictable narcissist. While alcohol may bring out the giggles in some people, it magnifies the narcissist's hidden insecurities. See, beneath the surface, they are writhing in the shame that they've long buried under a mask of superiority. And once those insecurities rise to the surface, they don't go down quietly. They'll turn their gaze on you, you know, that glossed over drunken gaze. They'll turn on you and their mind is just spinning because the alcohol actually makes people feel less inhibited. Well, the narcissist feels less inhibited in their shame. Like their delusional sense of superiority kind of masks that shame. But when they're drunk, their superiority and shame merges together. It's like alcohol gives the narcissist the excuse to feel shame and project that onto everybody without taking any responsibility. So they will turn their gaze onto you, exposing you just to shift the focus off of their crumbling facade. You know how the narcissist feels all the time. They feel this sense of growing shame, and so they have to prop themselves up with other people's demeanor. Well, they lose the sense and sensibility to see that and mirror that when they're drunk. So their crumbling facade of shame isn't gone. It's just now exposed, and they're feeling that, and they've lost control over themselves, so they can't hide behind anything. So out it comes. And because they feel like a piece of crap, they make you feel like a piece of crap that they are. If any of you have had experiences with the negative effect of alcohol yourself, you know that it's numbing. I mean, for me, when I feel my teeth numb, oh my gosh, I don't drink anymore, but when I did, like 2 glasses of wine from a wine glass would get me tipsy, and I would feel my teeth numb, and that's it. I'm done. I'm not drinking anymore, because I'm already starting to lose feeling in my body. Oh my gosh, no. Somebody give me some water. Alcohol dulls your senses. It makes it makes pain feel less noticeable. But when it comes to emotional suffering, alcohol only amplifies it. It's like a switch, shutting down the body's ability to cope, allowing the ego and the emotional turmoil to take center stage. Thank you all for showing up and joining. Hi, it's nice to see you. Welcome, friends. Welcome, newbies. It's nice to see you. Introduce yourself and share with the group where you are from. We all like to know where you are joining us from. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and it's still summertime weather out there. So yeah, it's still nice. No snow yet. So alcohol blurs the boundaries between the physical and spiritual, dulling the body's receptors while unleashing a raw, unfiltered aspect of someone's spiritual nature. So when, they say when somebody is drinking, the truth comes out. Alcohol acts like that truth serum. That's true. It does. But only that truth is amplified with truthful emotions. And for the drunken or inebriated narcissist, the truth comes out. They really do feel like you are the injuring person, that you are to blame. But that's simply not true. They are just projecting. But in their alcoholic tirade, it's the truth that is coming out. So this is the truth that is revealed to you, that they really do blame you and blame others. They can't live any other way. See, when someone is drunk, the ego takes full control, unfettered by the limitations of the physical body. For the narcissist, that means their hidden insecurities and their inner chaos rises unchecked. That inner chaos rises and bubbles to the surface. And while people may notice, how do you stop that? How do you stop the raging narcissist? Alcohol doesn't just cloud judgment, it unlocks the spirit, for better or for worse. And with the narcissist, this is worse, way worse, because the narcissist doesn't really have a spirit. The spirit of God is gonzo in them. And we've talked about this before, that narcissists have demons or demon attachments. Well, the narcissist often harbors an addictive personality and may struggle with substance abuse. Even when you don't think they're drinking, even when you don't think they're smoking or getting high, they just hide it well. Look in their eyes, you'll see. You'll see the glossed over redness, you'll see it. They may use cologne and perfume to hide the smell. They may use breath mints and gum. Well, if the narcissist if that's not natural behavior for them, that's a red flag. Something's up. The skillfully talented narcissist becomes undone when they're drunk. They try to skillfully conceal the side of themselves, keeping everybody in the dark, but once that drink takes hold, there's no holds barred on their ego. And usually you find out that you're dating or you're in love with, or a family member, co-worker, your boss is an alcoholic when you're already invested, when you've already invested time and energy that you can't get back and you don't want to relinquish because you've invested your heart and soul into this person. When a narcissist drinks, they are not simply enjoying a night out. They are masking an unbearable battle within themselves. They are masking or trying to mask their own depressive state. And behind that charm that you normally see, and behind that bravado, lies a constant attempt to silence their own self-destructive thoughts. And they do this with alcohol. When reading up on this, my history, going back to childhood trauma, my childhood trauma is a mother who was an alcoholic. Some say that she was a functioning alcoholic. I don't know. All I know is that when she was drunk, authorities would come in, place me in foster care, and when she was detoxed, when they determined that she was okay, then I would go back into her care. And I remember seeing her falling down drunk. I remember seeing her bump into walls and slur her words and, looking, can't even, seeing double and can't even look at somebody straight. I remember looking and seeing this foggy demeanor over her face. And she took her aggressions out on the 4 and 5-year-old mini me. Like, I took that to heart. She came home because she was drunk and she was driving her car to work and she crashed into the light post, and 5 minutes later she's walking through the door and she had a cut right here and it's bleeding and blood is running down her face and into her eye. And I remember me holding something in my arms for comfort and just looking at her, and my mother just cold and stone like said, "What are you looking at?" That memory is embedded into my mind for life. I remember being so scared of her. And when I started unpacking this trauma by learning 10 years ago that I was involved in a narcissist, thank you for the likes. Hi, nice to see you. When I was involved with a narcissistic husband, whom I thought, before I knew narcissism, I thought we were, he was my forever guy. And, well, that sure changed when I delved into psychopathy and narcissism. But in dealing with that, I also learned that there is behavior, trauma behavior, that follows us through our lives, those of us who have had to deal with narcissistic parents. It's called Alcoholic Children of Alcoholic Parents Syndrome. And looking into it, I could understand some of my behavior, because when you are the child of an alcoholic parent, you're left on your own. You're left to do everything alone. You're left to become independent and take care of yourself, and that follows you through your life. And it's very hard to lean and trust somebody. And so I realized that the only reason why my narcissistic relationship worked with my borderline alcoholic narcissist partner is because he worked away 2 weeks out of the home. He worked away from the home and he was gone. And so I could be myself and be that independent person that I grew to love. So there are symptoms, and I'm discovering personally that most narcissists do have some sort of addiction. And most narcissists do enjoy taking in alcohol in excess, whether they're alcoholics or functioning alcoholics. I don't know, I can't speak to that, but they do abuse alcohol and they do abuse drugs. And this is what followed me because of my childhood and dealing with my mom. Like, I have zero tolerance for alcoholism, but somehow I convinced myself that, because I'm enmeshed with the narcissist, that means that if I love them enough and show them that I love them enough, that they'll quit their drinking for me. That was to fuel my insecurities with my mom, because I thought in her alcoholism, I thought she didn't love me because of that one memory that I had. So that's just something for you guys to think about, okay? This might be triggering for you, and I really apologize for that, but on this channel, we get truthful. And the truth does hurt, and the truth does expose us to pains that we don't want to feel, but that is your only way to recovery, is to see those pains and face them. And once you face them and you become encouraged and you stand in confidence to face them, you'll realize that your feelings are feelings. Even though they're valid, you have every right to feel them. They don't have the right to control you. And so when you stand in courage and face your feelings, you really get a better understanding of yourself, and you get a better understanding of what those feelings have done and what they are currently doing, and you become empowered, and you learn that, hey, I am better than my feelings. I am better than this. I am worthy. You gain self-confidence and self-worth when you challenge yourself to stand in front of those feelings, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to feel hate and anger, allow yourself to feel that abandonment, allow yourself to feel that fear. Because in this moment, you know that you are safe. In this moment, you are bringing the past into this moment, and it's this moment that controls the past memories, not the memories of the past controlling your now moments like it has always been done. No, there is a better way. So as the narcissist indulges in their alcohol, the temporary relief feels intoxicating for them. It's inviting, exhilarating. And they fall into the trap of taking excess. They take more, they guzzle more, they think that they can handle it. They feel like, they assume that this feeling, this good feeling, is going to stay with them all night long. They're chasing that fleeting high because their so-called joy is short-lived, because that alcohol engages certain chemicals in the brain. And what starts as merrymaking quickly spirals down into emotional disaster as the alcohol strips away their filters, leaving their raw and unguarded emotions exposed. And in this state, they lose control of what they say, because they're no longer in control of what they think. They let their inner turmoil spill out for all to see. Here you go. But here's the rub, my friend. The narcissist will never hold themselves accountable in that moment or even days after that moment. They won't self-depreciate or admit their wrongdoings in public. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm such a loser. Can you ever forgive me, Sally? I'm sorry I said that about you. I'm sorry I exposed your secrets. No, they won't do that. Instead, they will turn the tables and weaponize your relationship. They'll character assassinate you in front of everyone, revealing your secrets, your missteps, your pains, everything that you have confided in the narcissist with. They will make a public spectacle if you're not careful. The narcissist won't hesitate to expose your flaws, airing out your private conversations for everyone to hear. They'll expose what you really truly think of Mr. Jackson over there in the corner, who is your mother's longtime friend and possible boyfriend who's trying to take over the family business. And while the crowd may not fully take the narcissist's rantings to heart, that doesn't mean their words won't leave a mark. With alcohol as their shield and excuse, the drunken ramblings of the narcissist are excused because people may forgive the narcissist's outbursts. But unfortunately, you may not be so fortunate. Their words stick, leaving you to bear the weight of the fallout as the damage to your reputation lingers long after the drinks wear off. And not only that, if you are the partner of the narcissist who gets drunk, people look at you. Can't you reel in your husband? Can't you reel in your wife? Like, what the heck's the matter with you guys? Like, don't bring him next time if he's going to drink his face off. Or drink us all under the table, excuse me. People don't realize that you have no control over this. You have no control over your partner or spouse. You really don't. And what's equally devastating is that you won't receive any apology from the narcissist. The next day, as you try to address the events of the night before, the narcissist will dodge any attempts at accountability, and they won't admit their fault because it's impossible for them. Hello, global solidarity. Nice to see you. Alcohol becomes a physical addiction. Absolutely it does. You're right on that. Yes. And you know, it's even hard to get them intervention. So the next day when you're looking for an apology or even an acknowledgement, because you're still reeling, like you're really processing your feelings, you're really thinking about the relationship that you're in with this person, you're really thinking about the goal, the end goal of this relationship and what you want, and this just is not acceptable, and you're really feeling the pinch, like this is going to be the rest of my life if I move forward. They will minimize their actions, downplaying the emotional wreckage that they left in their wake, and they're going to just pretend that the night of chaos never happened. And yes, that's the infuriating part. They'll somehow remember the good times that they had during that night, but those bad times that they unleashed on you, they'll just like forget, they'll conveniently forget, or maybe sometimes they do black out, but regardless, they somehow conveniently forget. But they'll remember, you know, the nice things that they said to you. They'll remember the nice things that were said about them. But 5 minutes after that, oh, it's like their brain just has shut down and does not remember anything scandalous that they said or did. They'll easily engage in banter with the buddies, reminiscing about the laughs and inside jokes, conveniently forgetting the embarrassment and the hurt that they caused you. When it comes to your pain and the humiliation that you have endured, that they inflicted, they will not take responsibility. They'll claim amnesia, claiming that, oh, I don't remember. Like, I know with my mom, I confronted her on the sexual abuse from her boyfriend, because when she was passed out, her boyfriend would either, you know, come and collect me, like bring me to his house so that I could be safely watched over, and he would try things in the privacy of his own home without anybody there. And in my 20s, I asked my mom, and she was still drinking. I believe she was still drinking at this time, but I asked her regardless because I just had to know. And she used the wrong words. She's like, he seduced you? And I'm just like, a 5-year-old cannot be seduced. Like, that's the wrong language to use. Like, clearly you just don't understand. Clearly you're not, I didn't say this to her, but in my mind I'm just like, you're so selfish that you don't even know the sympathetic words to use. Like, you don't use the word seduce. Like, I found that word, and I still do. I find it offensive. And she says to me over the phone, she's like, what do you want from me? And I'm like, I want to know if you knew, and if you did, I would like an apology. And she coldly said, how can I apologize for something I don't remember? Yeah, that pretty much, I was numb. I wasn't expecting an apology. I was hoping for one, but I really wasn't expecting one. And I went away from that conversation just knowing that she hadn't changed. Here I am in my 20s, got a new family. My kids are so very young, and I'm trying to heal, and my own kids are bringing up, you know, just because of who they are or who they were, just looking at them brought up pains of my past when I was their age. And I'm sitting here trying to solve some problems and solve some issues that I didn't have memories of, or my memories were so fragmented. I turned to the only source who could fill in the gaps is somebody who caused the gaps in my memory, an alcoholic mother. So don't expect too much from them. Really, don't expect too much from a narcissist at all. Because your anguish becomes a non-event in their mind, leaving you to carry the weight of that night alone. You got to carry that all on your shoulders. All the while they act as if nothing ever went wrong. And why is that? Because the narcissist has no empathy. We know this, but it still doesn't make it any easier to deal with because it's freaking hurtful. The narcissist will brush off your concerns with dismissive remarks like, can't I have any fun? You're always got your thumb down on me. Like, why do you have to be my babysitter? Why can't I just have some fun? Once they've crossed that line without facing any consequences, oh, you're going to see, because they can't face consequences, obviously. But it's hard to hold the drunk accountable. It's hard to hold the narcissist who isn't even drunk. It's hard to hold them accountable, especially when you do not have healthy boundaries in place. Having healthy boundaries in place is what holds the narcissist to taking responsibility, because you refuse to allow yourself to be projected on. But if you are in a relationship with any narcissist where you have weak boundaries and you do not know self-awareness to be self-reliant, there's going to be times where you will find yourself in similar incidences. And when you have to endure one, you will have to endure another one. And it takes, for me, it took about 2 or 3 times of enduring these horrendous tirades of the drunken narcissist to really grab a clue and say, hey, I've got to do something about this. I've got to take my life into my own hands. I cannot stay reliant on the narcissist and leave the narcissist to stay responsible for me. Like, that's just not working. They're untrustworthy. And no, I respect myself enough, so I've got to do something about this. Because if you don't, you're going to find out in a hurry that just one time begins the slippery slope of them doing it many times or all times. Like, anytime you have a family outing, anytime you have an outing that requires the two of you, you're going to find that you're on this edge, this precipice of this slippery slope going downwards, because you're always going to be their fall guy. It's, I don't like to say this, but it's almost like you're their mascot. You're the jester, and they get to project onto you, and every eye is then on you, and so that allows them to drink some more, as they don't feel like they're the object of everybody's attention in the room. So just know that when you see the narcissist and they're getting drunk, this isn't going to be just a one-time event with them. It's going to be the rest of your life. It's going to be on a cycle pattern. This behavior is now exposed, and the narcissist will gradually reveal more and more of this behavior, as they will gradually let you in that their drinking is often hidden from you. And once you see it, they've got nothing to hide anymore. This constant exposure to their cruelty will chip away at your sense of self, leaving you feeling like a stranger in your own skin. Literally, you will become unrecognizable to yourself. And that has its own pains for you to endure. that leads you into depression. That can lead you into, maybe drug and alcohol use yourself. A drunken narcissist is the epitome of depravity. There is no one more cunning or insidious, because these wretched beings are driven by a sole purpose: to make us loathe ourselves. Whether they're drinking or not, that's their ultimate goal. That's their modus operandi. They want us to basically give up our spiritual autonomy as they try to erode away our spirituality by chipping away at our character little by little and piece by piece. They want us to forsake us, or forsake our true identities. Just as they have abandoned themselves, their own self-awareness, they want us to do the same. Unable to reclaim their lost self, they project their shattered selves onto us, attempting to force us into their mold. See, there's a more sinister plot going on here, and I don't think many of us are privy, or we've grabbed a clue. I know psychologists haven't, and I personally don't think narcissists are that smart that they haven't grabbed a clue, because who they represent is the darkness, or what is called in Hebrew the Hoshek nature. And this Hoshek nature, by definition, is ignorance and obscurity. So they really can't, when you think about it, they really can't understand who they are. So the narcissist, by coaxing us into rejecting our own self-worth, I think the spiritual accentuation, or the spiritual revelation, the spiritual dynamic, what they intend but they're not conscious of, they intend to swap places with us, embodying a level of manipulation that feels almost biblical, because it is biblical in the depths of their malevolence. See, when I'm going to deviate away from the topic here for a minute, because I think this is really important. Because we're going to get into that the alcoholic is opening themselves up to demons. Okay, so when you understand this spiritual dynamic at play, when you look at Genesis and you see that there is a curse on humanity, that the enemy's seed will have enmity between Eve's seed, and there's going to be like factions and divisions. The enemy's seed, the enemy's children, known as the weeds of the world, will fight for dominance over the children of Eve. That's the wheat of the world. And we have dominion over the weeds of this world through Jesus Christ. But just like Esau is a metaphor for what the enemy did in the Garden of Eden. He forsook his inheritance, his spiritual high place in heaven, in order to kill or unalive Adam and Eve, the first beings who were created in God's image. And so God put a curse on the enemy, just as he put on a curse on humanity. And the curse for the enemy was, okay, I'm going to clip your wings. You're going to crawl on your belly. You're going to be lower than humanity. And you're going to eat dust for the rest of your life. The enemy has forsook his inheritance, just like Esau in Scripture, that bartered his family inheritance for a bowl of soup. The enemy tries to get us to deny ourselves by forfeiting our spirituality, our own life. See, the enemy doesn't realize that We are married to God in here, whether we like it or not. It's a marriage. You can't separate life from life. It doesn't work. The enemy separated himself in heaven. And that's why he's here on earth. He's the epitome of, he forsook his life and now he's death. He represents death. And the enemy wants us, the narcissist wants to switch places because they are tormented by that obscurity that they constantly feel. They can't feel happy. They can experience happiness and joy, but it's fleeting. It's because they have no joy. Joy of the Lord is our strength, because Jesus is joy. So by coaxing us into rejecting our own, it's not just our self-worth, by rejecting our spiritual beings, who we are. They want to swap places with us in attempts to embody our empty vessel. If they can empty our vessel, our bodies, if they can empty that out of the spirit that is life, and they can then embody that, this body, then the obscurity of the misunderstanding of it all is that the narcissist, or the spirit nature of the narcissist, assumes that if they assume our physical likeness with who they are, then they can find their inheritance and go back to heaven. This is how they feel redeemed. This is their resurrection. See, the dead are not resurrected. Only those who are alive in Christ are resurrected. And so the demons have to become resurrected again by possessing a body. Their possession only lasts on this earth as long as the body survives. But once the body is dead, they become a disembodied spirit again, and they go look for another body to inhabit. That's their source of resurrection. That's their interpretation of resurrection, because that's the only type of resurrection they will ever have. Interesting. So possession is their form, the enemy's form of resurrection. And that's the closest to any resurrection to life that they will ever have ever again. That makes sense. That's really interesting. So their demons revel in the allure of strong spirits. As we know, we've talked about this in other videos, that narcissists are possessed by demons, maybe one or two or a legion, or they have one or two or a legion of demon attachments following them. That's why you'll see when you're in the company of a narcissist, it doesn't matter if you're in direct company or they're in your life somehow, you will discover, if you're really in tune, you will see that those demon attachments will haunt you. Your keys will go missing, you'll be misplacing things will start going wrong in your life. It's not a good thing. So the narcissist and their inner tormentors, those demons that inhabit them, become exhilarated by indulging in intoxicating, seductive elixirs like alcohol and drugs, because the demons can then shine and be themselves. And in this state, they can operate under the radar, cloaked in a facade of helplessness. And people will say, "Oh, that poor soul." They might whisper among the crowd, "Oh my gosh, that poor soul, they've lost control of themselves. They're too drunk to be held accountable. Oh my gosh, I hope they're going to be okay." The narcissist's public humiliation of themselves is often dismissed as a minor lapse with hopes that they may learn from their mistake. Yet what's truly left behind is a visceral stain on our emotions, those people that the narcissist projects onto. It's a deep, indelible mark that no amount of time or excuse can ever erase. It truly takes God and your self-awareness and learning to forgive yourself and others to really bring a resolve, a resolution to these feelings that you harbor against the narcissist. Alcohol only magnifies the worst traits in a narcissist, turning their darkest qualities into unchecked torrents of behavior. When intoxicated, the narcissist feels liberated from any restraints. Yeehaw! I'm free! And the narcissist then is able to say what they want, do what they want, as their outbursts intensifies their control over their victims. These alcoholic tirades serve as a fuel for their manipulation, feeding their demons. Even if the outbursts are fleeting, it doesn't matter. There's fuel to be gained. The fuel of their drunken escapades directly nourishes their inner darkness, drawing them ever closer to their malevolent impulses. Each drink drives them further from their fragmented shards of their true selves, leaving them more deeply entrenched in their demonic control, where the narcissist becomes merely a vessel for all things corrupt and destructive, and they don't even know it. Hi, thanks for the likes, everyone. Blessings. So, are you guys liking this video? Is it informative? Is it helpful? Is this giving you something that you need to know? Well, if so, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, because your subscription helps to bring attention to this channel. Remember to subscribe to this channel and return back tomorrow here at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for another important live video about narcissism. So I just want to say thank you for your support, as your support, your likes, your comments, your engaging with this platform has been so helpful, because you are helping this channel grow, as this is our channel. This is our home space to feel comforted by like-minded individuals, to find God in a crowd of many who also serve God. We find hope and healing and restoration for our weary souls, and we become empowered to be lifted up, like how God says, on wings like eagles. So when a narcissist drinks, they surrender control to the demons that manipulate them like a puppet, because the demons are the puppet masters, and they manipulate the narcissist. And the narcissist doesn't even recognize that. Now, the individual you encounter in such a state is a hollow, spiritually bankrupt being, estranged from any semblance of divine grace, because they lack empathy. They can't come back from that. They can't come back to their spirituality. They can't repent. It's no wonder that they harbor such animosity towards us, because they view our sincere, unconditional love with disdain, because they know who we are. And they are hoping that we will never grab a clue. They're hoping that we will never know who we are. During these encounters, it's crucial for you to begin distancing yourself from the toxic influence. Do not indulge. If they are on their alcoholic tirade, stand back, stay aloof, stay quiet, observe. Observe really well, but do not absorb. Because when you observe, you're observing the truth of the narcissist. You are observing the truth of what they think about you, and you're observing who they really think about themselves. God says you cannot argue with a fool, and certainly you can't argue with a drunken fool. Don't even try to bring them back to a knowledge of Christ or the Bible. Don't use scripture at them at this point. Don't say, stop it, you're making a fool of yourself. Don't say anything. Just let them be. Make sure that they're not a harm to themselves or other people, but give them space. Give them emotional space, because those malevolent forces are seeking to drag you down by assaulting your character, knowing that you shine too brightly for this world. They aim to rob you of your joy and self-worth, and for a time they do, but you'll get that back. I promise you will. Hang on to your self-worth. Seek out what those meanings are to those emotions that control your decision-making. Do things for you. Spend time with you. Become your own best friend again. Reacquaint you with yourself. And I promise you, you will just shake off all that ugly facade that the narcissist has tried to project onto you. You'll shake it off. I'm here to help you if you need guidance. Head on over to my sister site, ko-fi.com/Shannon Lynn. A link is in the description of this video. You can find informative, downloadable, affordable ebooks for your reading pleasure. You can sign up for monthly coaching course packages, or you can even sign up to work one-on-one with me on a day-to-day basis if you want. It's time to get your power back, my friend. It really is. Because it's time to shine your light, because God is calling us home. It's time to prepare ourselves. And those evil beings in the form of narcissists, they're harming us, yes, but we're rising above so that we can be the light shining in the darkness of somebody else who is not yet prepared to leave and stay away from a narcissist. That's what this channel is all about, and you guys are helping to make this channel grow and be what it is, the light shining in someone's darkness, because you are the light shining in someone's darkness. Never forget that you're going through this, even though you may ask yourself, why am I going through this? This isn't fair. Why did God do this to me? I didn't sign up for this. You're going to ask yourself a lot of these important questions. And when you begin the transitional phases of learning, as you learn to heal by understanding what narcissism is, opposed to what you want the narcissist to be for you, and you learn to be that for yourself, you then begin to understand what your purpose is here on earth and why you are here. There is a reason why we have information at our fingertips. There's a reason why the information worldwide is available to everybody today. We're living in really wonderful times because knowledge has grown to the point where we can now spread the knowledge. We become the teachers as we have been the students. And you become the teacher and the student to guide, lead, teach other people as you help other people to surrender their egos to themselves and to God and just let unconditional love shine. And that is what disarms the narcissist. When we take back our power, we give the narcissist no power. Now, the narcissist tries to keep us from living to our fullest life on earth, and they don't want us preparing ourselves for a higher purpose. Instead, their goal is to turn us into a spectacle, leaving you feeling diminished and worthless long after the narcissist has left your presence. Their mission is to embed you with an infection, a mental infection of self-loathing, depression, self-hate, fear, ambivalence towards yourself and others. Now, this is done by the narcissist. It's malicious and it's done on purpose. And you start feeling all these negative things about yourself while you're in the narcissistic relationship, but after they leave, oh shoot, look out. Hi, thanks for the love. Love back to you. Look out, because you are going to feel all of these things magnified 100-fold. You're going to feel everything that you've ever feared. You're going to feel the feeling of abandonment, the feeling of rejection, the feeling of being unworthy. You're going to feel the feeling of fear, what it feels like to fear yourself and fear the unknown. And how you combat all of that is to face it. And I'm speaking for myself. When I got involved with narcissists, I realized that I got involved with them because I didn't know myself. If I knew myself, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Will I ever give you the time of day? I love myself and I respect myself too much to allow anybody to degrade me like that ever again. But this is what I've noticed in my healing from the narcissist, that I feared feeling those feelings of rejection. Love back to you. Whoever you are, thanks. All of you, thank you so much. You know, I can personally say that I feared feeling those feelings of rejection. I feared feeling those feelings of unworthiness. I feared feeling those feelings of abandonment. And the narcissist projects onto us everything that we fear and try to avoid. And we end up feeling those things that we avoid at the discard when the narcissist is gone, because we don't know ourselves, and that's why we are attached to the narcissist, because somewhere in our upbringing we were not yet emotionally mature in our self-individuation, and so we learn to become individuated when the narcissist brings havoc in our lives. We learn to appreciate ourselves when we're enduring hell. We learn to stop abandoning ourselves. We learn to stop rejecting ourselves. We learn to stop fearing ourselves. We learn to stop considering ourselves as unworthy. Because it's when we gain confidence in ourselves by getting the courage to stand in this confidence by saying, I got to get out of here. How do I get out of this relationship? The only way out is to go in. You got to go grab yourself by the hand and say, we're getting ourselves out of this. I need you. You may even have to look at yourself in the mirror. Grab the mirror and say, grab hold of yourself, woman or man. You know, hi, Steffi, nice to see you. And you have to say, we're doing this together. I love you. And even if you don't believe those words that you say to yourself, I promise you, say them to yourself 3-4 times a day. Every time you go to the washroom, you wash your face, you got to go shower, have a bath, use the facilities, brush your teeth, whatever. Brush your teeth and say, I love you, I love you, you know, and spit out your water and mean it and say, I love you. And I promise eventually you say that enough to yourself so many times during the day, the next day, or the day after that, maybe even the day after that is when you finally feel empowered, and you'll look at yourself and you'll say, I love you, sugar. You're awesome today. Go make your day great. Wow. And you'll just bounce around life during that day, and you'll be so empowered that whatever the narcissist says to you will be like water off a duck's back. You can't tell the narcissist to stop drinking. You can't tell them, hey, look, calm down, man. Take a back seat. Relax. That's only going to heighten that's just going to get them more aggravated. You're going to drive them to drink some more in defiance. Nobody going to tell me no as they juggle their beer. Consequences, well, they're going to have effect on you. But if you take back your power, you're going to feel empowered, and you will find that the narcissist that you encounter next time, or maybe even this one, you're going to emotionally check out of the relationship before the narcissist has a chance to discard you. So when that discard comes, you're going to be ready. You will be ready. And even if they don't discard you, you're going to be the one to be ready to discard them and say, no way. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not playing this game anymore. No. I'm too good for you, Mr. or Miss Narcissist. I am worthy. You're the unworthy one. I am too good. You know that song, I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt? Yeah, it's like we are too good for the narcissist. And when you step into your worth, I guarantee you're going to feel so worthy. You're going to feel empowered. This is your strength training in life. This is your training ground to help you to stand up for yourself, because the people in your past, maybe in your childhood, they were the ones to stand up for you, but somehow they failed because they failed themselves. But as an adult, you now are learning, or as a mature person, you are now learning that the only one who can stand up for you is you. And the only one who can take you down is you, by choice, by you engaging the narcissist in their emotional banter, by giving them your emotions to make them responsible for you and your emotions and your character. That's how you take yourself down. You're not defeated. You never were defeated. The narcissist can't take away from you what you refuse to take away from yourself. Now, I know sometimes you need to attend those public functions and the narcissist is going to be there. And, what you can do is try to take your own vehicle or bring extra money for an Uber or a cab home. Make arrangements with some friends that maybe you can drive in their car and they can drop you off at home. Make an appearance if you must, but make a strategic exit as soon as possible. The most important step you can make for yourself is to prepare to leave the narcissist for good. If that's a decision that you feel you need to make, then make it and stick with it. And know this, that it's your decision to leave or stay. And you have your reasons for staying. Like, nobody's going to judge you on this channel. I'm certainly not. I stayed in a relationship for almost 20 years, married to somebody. And then after that, I started, dating, and I was meeting narcissists, and I got myself into trouble, and I stayed in a narcissistic relationship because I was still dealing with guilt. So don't rush yourself. When you're ready, you're ready. Steph says, 30 years of hell, but Jesus is healing me now. I went no contact with him back, and he left and got married right after. Pure evil. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing, and Right on your healing. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Isn't God so good? I mean, when you start having a relationship with yourself, Jesus reveals himself to you because you are one with Jesus. I think the scripture is John chapter 17. There is a beautiful prayer that Jesus prays over us, and he prays for us to the Father. And this prayer is so empowering, so full of love, and lets you know that Jesus doesn't look at our flaws. Jesus doesn't see us as flawed human beings. He sees us as loving beings that he created us in unconditional love. And he loves you with that unconditional love and that fire of life. So go get him. Go do you. Go be you. Go have fun in life. Enjoy it. Now, if you are preparing to leave a narcissist, I encourage you to make wise decisions. Don't make decisions in haste. If you have an exit, like an objective to say, okay, in 6 months, I'm going to give myself 6 months so I can get enough rent money and, first and last month's rent. I need some furniture. I need some food. I need some supplies. I need this and that and the other. And you're going to give yourself 6 months. Well, don't deviate from that plan unless your life is in danger, obviously. But, make sure you have some therapy or somebody to talk to in the meantime while you make your preparations, because you're going to need some emotional backup. You're going to need somebody who is in your corner to champion for you. And you're going to need, those times where you slip and you say, you fall into this unworthiness trap saying, what was I ever thinking? I'll never be free from this guy or this woman. And, I can't do this. Well, you're going to need some encouragement. So try to find somebody who can be your support outside of the narcissist's friendship group, social group, though, because you never know who the flying monkeys are. They could be members of your own family. They could be your best friend, and that your best friend is turned to be the flying monkey for the narcissist. So find people that you can really trust. Now, it's not always feasible to leave the narcissist right away. So all I can say is just start making concrete plans. Stick to your plan. And while you're planning, take time to heal yourself. Prepare for your eventual Prepare for your eventual departure by setting clear boundaries for you. Seek support, establish a solid exit plan to ensure that leaving the narcissist becomes a reality and will not backfire on you. So make sure that you have a plan that you're going to go no contact, they're going to stay no contact. Talk to your business and say that, this person is such and such, and you do not give your office or any employee, have it a note that you do not give your authorization for any employee of this company to share your phone number, your address, your email, your whereabouts, if you're on coffee break or if you're on lunch. You do not give anybody your permission to share personal information with anybody. Make that clear. Do not make the mistake of attributing the narcissist's behavior solely to their alcohol consumption. You're going to find lulls in your relationship where the narcissist is drinking and they go on a bender and they're cruel as cruel can be to you, but after that there's a 2-week peace agreement between the two of you, so to speak, as it seems peaceful in the household. Don't be lured into that false sense of security. because you'll find that there's patterns. With when I was 18, I met somebody and we seemed to get along really well, but as soon as we moved in together, not so good. And then I decided to have children with him, so we tried to make the relationship work, but his alcoholism came out and I noticed a pattern. I would complain and be very fervent in my goals and in my wants and my needs with this drinking. It's like, no, we've got kids, you will not do this to us. You know, you're going to smarten up and be the dad, be the husband figure. We're going to be a family. And for 2 weeks, it was really good. But then after the 2-week period, he would fall back into a 3-day drinking stupor. And then he would stop again for 2 weeks, and then another 3 days, and then another 2 weeks, and then another 3 days. I actually had a calendar, and I was mapping it out on a calendar just to keep track for my own peace of mind, but also to show him. And this pattern didn't stop. So just be aware of that you may have a sense of peacekeeping in the relationship. Don't let that fool you. The narcissist cannot change. They are who they are. And they may still be drinking, they're just hiding it. And even when the narcissist is sober, you're still going to have to endure the narcissistic abuse. It's just not as severe as when they're drinking, but don't let that fool you. Abuse is abuse, and you don't deserve it, no matter what it looks like. Just because it's a little bit minor, it's not as severe, it's okay. Just because you can take it doesn't mean that you should. Just because you can handle it doesn't mean that it's not damaging you. You deserve to live a peaceful life in your spiritual, mental, physical autonomy and safety. This is an inherent right within every human being to be safe, to live in peace and harmony with everyone and also with themselves. Yes, Steffi, amen. So just because you're enduring the abuse, the devaluing, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the passive aggressiveness, the undermining, the stonewalling, the button-pushing tactics, when the narcissist is not drinking, doesn't mean that it's still not painful. It is. And it is persistent. Their drinking exasperates what is already there. It's worsening the abuse. I'm serious when I say this, that you will confront the narcissist's inner demons, and these demons are very, very real. And they come with a vengeance. They seek to undermine both flesh and spirit, driven by malevolent forces that can be traced back to the Garden of Eden. And we've talked about that in other videos too, that, you know, the narcissists are the children of the enemy. See, though God stripped the enemy of spiritual power and barred the enemy from coming into heaven for life, they are now left with a diminished power. And this diminished power is still powerful. It's just rooted in negativity. Think of energy. You've got strong energy on both ends of the spectrum. And in the middle is neutral. But on one side you've got positive, the other side you've got negative. You're working towards your way up to the positive energy, being powerful in your spiritual nature. And the narcissist, well, they're working towards going the opposite direction. They're negative. And that negativity attracts negative demons. Just like your spirituality and positivity attracts angels, attracts help, benevolent, angelic help. Well, the narcissist attracts malevolent, angelic help. So the narcissist is a lower vibration, and they attract lower vibrational spiritual beings. And this residual power, this power that was taken from them, like they no longer have the strength of positivity, but they have the residual strength in positive negativity. The strength in negativity is fierce, and it doesn't carry the same weight as the strength in positive natures. The only way the narcissist can gain power is through intimidation and bullying. They have to be extremely negative. They have to engage in their negative emotions in order to seem more powerful than you, because they have to seem intimidating in those negative emotions in order to get you to acquiesce and do what they say. They want you to bow down to them, basically. They want to assert their dominance over you through fear and coercion, because that's what makes them feel powerful. That's what makes them feel godlike. So the next time the narcissist gets drunk in your presence, be prepared for a potentially challenging situation that's not going to go in your favor. Alcohol is a depressant. It exasperates the narcissist's existing emotional turmoil and amplifies their desperate attempts to mask their inner pain. In public, they will most likely project all of that negative emotion and turmoil onto you. You're the scapegoat. In public, they will use their drunken stupor to unleash a torrent of abuse that will only serve to tarnish your reputation. So don't let that happen. Take control of you before they take control of you. Their tirades will continue unabated until the numbing effects of the alcohol eventually take over and they fall asleep. So the best thing to do is, if you're in the company of a drunken narcissist, avoid engagement. Never confront or interact with the narcissist. Stay clear out of the room if you have to. If the narcissist is, in the kitchen blowing off steam, you go to the living room. Stay out of their crosshairs. Because when the narcissist is intoxicated and enraged, as this is a deadly combination, it often leads to your worst nightmare. Instead, just practice the gray rock. I know it's hard, but practice gray rock in public. You're going to feel all those eyes on you, but just think of this as all the world's a stage. All the world's a stage, and everyone is merely just a player. Take control of your story by being the hero of your story. That's what life is. You can be the protagonist or the antagonist, but you who are the hero and you rescue yourself with the Lord Jesus' help, well, all you need to do is just observe, don't absorb. This is hard to do when you have other people's eyes on you. But if you just stay stoic and observe, and don't show any agitation, don't show fear, don't show surprise, don't show shock and horror, don't show any weakness in you're surprised and the narcissist is trying to resort you to tears. Don't become sad. Don't self-reject inside of yourself and allow your feelings to show that. Instead, stand tall, stay stoic, because those eyes that are on you, they're watching for your reaction. And they're watching, don't mess with the best. Like, that person knows how to handle that drunken idiot over there in the corner. I bet you they've been through this too many times. They know. They're handling themselves really good. That's what they're going to remember. Now, the narcissist may say nasty things about you to other people. Do you know what she did? Do you know what he did? You know what they think of you? Just say, that's enough. That's enough. No, that's not enough, blah, blah, blah. And then you just, you know what? I'm leaving. And you make your exit. When they are intoxicated and enraged, you just gotta let them be. Stay detached. Because by rising above these attacks with dignity and self-respect, using diplomacy, that's how you protect yourself and your reputation. Your composed response in the face of chaos will shine a light on you for others to see. And it will expose your integrity, mitigating the damage that the narcissist intended to inflict on you. So, that's all I've got to say on the matter. If you have liked this video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, as we do these live videos every day except for Wednesday. So we do them Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all live at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. And on Sunday, since we're talking about all week about the narcissist, on Sunday, join me here at 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 in the afternoon, for a Bible study. That's where we just open up the randomly the Bible, and we read scripture, and we talk and share our thoughts, our views. We share insights, and where two or more come into agreement, there he is. Jesus shows up, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I hope to see you there. And I hope to see you here tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. as well. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to comment down below, as I will get to your comments and your suggestions as I see them. But if you do have something that you would want to talk about privately, as you don't want to air your laundry on public television, public video, you are also welcome to email me at any time at Shannon Gilmour, GILMOUR, at protonmail.com. You can find my email in the description of this video channel. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining. You are all, as much as the narcissist has hurt us, and it's kind of unfortunate that we're meeting under these circumstances, but I mean, I am so honored to meet you. I am so honored that you joined me. It's so nice to see you, because your presence has helped me. If it wasn't for people like you that I could go to and share my trauma with, and yes, I trauma dumped on you guys, people in my past, but if it wasn't for people like you with such big hearts, I would not be here. I would not be thriving and surviving narcissism and breaking free from those toxic patterns of abuse. You guys have helped me come into my spiritual awareness and find my divinity. So I just want to say thank you. So this channel is a way for me to give back to you, to say thank you. So if ever you need extra reading, you need extra coaching tips, you want some extra help on a subject that you're dealing with, you're always welcome to head on over to my Ko-Fi channel. The link is in the description and also in a pinned comment here. And if you want to support this channel, I accept donations graciously, as I thankfully, just want to say thank you for your help and your support in all ways that you have supported me. Mwah. Now go enjoy your afternoon, make it great, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. We used to do these live at 10 o'clock at night a couple of weeks ago, but no, we're doing this tomorrow afternoon. All right, see you tomorrow afternoon. Bye, ciao, arrivederci.